Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be talking about a new leader that's coming out in OP10, which is the Blue and Black Usopp. So this leader here is a very versatile leader due to the deck building that you would be running for this leader. So it's very good at defense and very good in late game as well. Basically, this deck, or this leader, I should say, is a better version of Rebecca back in OP04. As you all know, Rebecca is a very grindy leader. So if you play Rebecca back then you should know that this leader here, the Blue and Black Usopp, needs a lot of patience for you to win your matches. So we're going to be breaking down the cards for this deck and what makes it really work when it comes to the meta. Now, let's first start off with the lower cost cards. So we got 4 copies of the Corrida Coliseum, 4 copies of Leo, and 4 copies of the Rebecca Searcher. So these cards here are going to be your basically your opening hand. Do you want to see this one on your opening hand? Especially the Corrida Coliseum is just going to make your whole game plan very, very smooth due to the stage effect. So if your leader has the Dressrosa type, your characters that have the Dressrosa type can attack characters on the turn that they are played. So just be mindful for those who are new to the game. You don't get rushed to attack their leader. I think just that's one of the most common mistake that new players try to play when they try to use this ability or this stage, I should say. The stage will let you attack other characters on the board. So if a character is sideways, then you can attack them, but also know that you cannot attack their leader. So that's the only exception for this rule. You typically would want to go second, because you would want to make your opponent attack with their board first, and then once you play your bigger bodies, then you can start attacking those sideways characters. Leo is the new card from OP10. He's a searcher, but he's not just a searcher where you typically just do the on play and then search top 5. So on play, you may rest one of your leader or your stage. If your leader is Usopp, look at the top 5 cards of your deck, reveal up to 2 cards other than Leo that have the Dressrosa type, and put them into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your deck and trash 1 card. So basically, this is just like a filtering card. It is very good during the mid and late game, because you in return of resting either your leader or stage. In this case, it would be mainly your stage that you're going to be resting, because you're not going to be using the stage all the time. You would draw 2 cards and trash 1 card. The reason why it's very good is because you will be playing a lot of bricks on your hand. So come into late game, it would be very hard for you to kind of like search for the right cards, or at least like a counter for your hand. And Leo is one of the good card that can filter out your hand. We also have the Searcher Rebecca, so we all know that on play she can look top 3 of your cards, reveal up to 1 of the Dressrosa type card other than herself. That includes the new Rebecca as well, the 7 cost Rebecca, which we will be talking about later on, and then trash the remaining cards. So again, this is just to grab the pieces that you need based on your turn. So like I said, those 3 cards are the ones that you want to see on your opening hand. but mainly you would be prioritizing the Corrida Coliseum. The next few cards that we're going to be talking about are the new cards that came out from this set. So that would be the 4-cost Cavendish and the 4-cost Roronoa Zoro. So let's talk about Roronoa Zoro first. So Zoro on this deck is basically your early removal. On play, you may rest up to one of your Dressrosa type leader or stages, KO up to one of your opponent's cost 4 or lower characters, then place the top 2 cards of your deck into your trash. Now, this is a very good card to play on your second dawn, or your second turn curve. The reason why is because you can pop one of your opponent's character, and if they play, for some reason they have another character that they turn sideways, you can play the Zoro, and then you can swing a 6k body into another card, which typically they would need a 2k to counter just to save that card that they're on their board. So it is a very good card. It's a 6k body, and you can just attach one on the next turn, and you can swing for 7. Cavendish is another filtering card. Again, you would want to go second, is because you want to attack even their searcher, right? So even if they're attack with their searcher for some reason, or for example the teach with the dock queue, you can play the Cavendish, swing onto the dock queue, and then you can activate its ability. So Cavendish's ability is when attacking, once per turn, draw 2 cards and trash 1 card from your hand. Again, if you have a lot of breaks on your hand, this is a good way to get rid of those bricky cards from your hand. Now, let's talk about the bread and butter of your deck. This will be your blockers. So you are going to be playing Bartolomeo and EDO, both from OP04. Bartolomeo is a 2k counter, and EDO would be a 1k counter. You can also put in the new Frankie, the 4-cost Frankie, where if he gets KO'd, he can bring back 1 card from your trash back to the field, as long as it is 2 costs or less, or 3 costs or less, I should say. Now, why is your blocker the bread and butter of your deck? The reason why is because of the leader's ability. So there are 2 types of ability for this leader. Your cost 2 and greater Dressrosa type characters have +1 cost. So anything that's 2 costs or more, you would have a +1 on them as long as they are the Dressrosa type. For example, the Bartolomeo, the 3-cost Bartolomeo blocker would be a 4-cost. It's the same with the EDO. It would be a 3-cost blocker once you play them. Now, the main effect, I should say, of this leader is this may be activated when one of your Dressrosa type characters are removed from the field by your opponent's effect, or are KO'd if you have 5 or less cards in your hand, and then you draw 1 card. Now, on the very early games, you would want to protect your life using your blockers. So the first thing that you would need to do with this leader is you make sure that you manage your hand very well. You would need to have 5 cards or lower on your card to activate its leader's ability. Now, if you have 5 cards or lower, which is typically what the hand size is for the first 2 to 3 turns, once you place a blocker on the field, you can use that blocker to block the incoming attack and then draw 1 card. That way you would protect your life, which is your multicolored leader, and you only have 4 life. And playing a controlled or slower deck means that you need to be very wary of your life, because you can get run down even before you reach your 10 down turn. Having the drawing ability is such a good ability for Usopp. That's why he is very good with the defensive side of the game, because you're gonna be playing blockers just to stall until you get your big buddies down. Okay, now let's talk about the other pair that's coming out from OP10, which is the 7-cost Rebecca and the 7-cost Kyros. So the 7-cost Rebecca, on play, if there's a cost 8 or greater character in play, draw 1 card, then reveal up to 2 costs 7 or lower Dressrosa type characters other than Rebecca from your hand. Play one of them as active, and then the other has a cost of 4 or lower. Play it as rested. Sorry. Okay, so basically Rebecca would be just cheating out 3 cards from your hand. Typically, you would want to do a Rebecca, Kyros, and possibly a 1-cost like a 1-cost Leah, because you would be playing the lower cost or like the second card as rested, so you don't really want it to be a character that's that's very easy to swing at. For example, like your blocker or your I don't know, one of your big buddies is very situational to play a Cavendish or a Roronoa Zoro. But yeah, having those combo is a really good and powerful combo throughout the mid to late game. Also, you can draw 1 card as well from the Rebecca on play effect. And since your leader have a +1 for anything Dressrosa type character, as long as it's 2 costs, the Kyros would automatically be an 8 cost. Actually, it's the same with the Rebecca card as well. It would automatically be a cost. The new 7 cost 9k body Kyros on play, return a cost 5 or lower characters to its owner's hand. Now, this character can return pretty much a blocker. So once you play this card, it is a massive body that they have to deal with. It is a 7 cost, yes, but it also has a 9k body. Remember what I said about earlier about your stage is you can play the stage and then use the stage ability to attack any character that is sideways. So a 9k body would be an instant deletion from the field, from your character's board. Also, removing 5 costs or lower, that's a very good range for a black and blue combination leader. So that's the new combo. Usually you can you can also attack with Rebecca if you attach 1 Dawn, but I would just like save my Dawn just in case I would need to do a bigger swing with my leader. But that's very situational as well. Also, like I said earlier, it's very situational if you also would want to play your Zoro. So you can play your Zoro as your second card to cheat out from the Rebecca's effect. However, you're gonna be playing this one sideways, but it doesn't exclude its own playability. So as long as there's something that 4 costs or less, then you would be at least removing 2 cards from your opponent's board. Plus, you get to swing with the Kyros as well. So next turn you will be very beefed up with the swings, and you can possibly go for game the next turn. Now the rest of the deck would just be the tech cards and the 2K counters. So I do have 4 copies of Jozu and 1 copy of the 7 cost Monkey D. Luffy. The reason why I do have 4 copies of Jozu is because I find it that this leader doesn't really do much on the mid game, especially if you don't get the second turn. It's such a very awkward turn if you go first, unless you do have the right pieces such as your blockers and then your searchers and stuff like that. You can always use the extra Dawn to attack with your leader, but I feel like there's not much option between the mid game. Also, Jozu has an on-play effect as well, where you can return up to 6 cost or lower characters from the owner's hand, but you need to have at least 1 card from your board before you can activate its ability. And the other one is the Monkey D. Luffy, the 7 cost Monkey D. Luffy that can attack any of the active characters as well, which is very good. Having a 7k body, if you have the stage, you can attach 2 more, or you can even go for 3 more Dawns and make him a 10k body. You can attack any of the active cards that your opponent is currently holding on their board, making sure that it doesn't get attacked before they can establish a blocker. That's a very good card. Is a very good piece for this deck. But I'm only running 1 because one is is enough. You don't really need to see this one very often. Being a 7 cost card is very expensive for a very slow deck, and it's just a very good card as well because you can restand this one as long as you return 7 cards from your trash, combining it with the Gum Gum King Kong Gun. That's just like the finisher for this deck, but it's very hard to pull off, especially with the meta, with the Dolphins, with the Shanks, like all these rush cards or rush decks as well. It's very risky, so that's why I'm only running 1 copy of the Monkey D. Luffy. However, 4 copies of Jozu, I can probably swap this one with maybe an extra copy of I don't know, the King Kong gun, or maybe I can replace 1 or 2 copies of the Jozu as maybe a Frankie, the 4 cost Frankie, or the 5 cost Sabo. It really depends, but I'm still testing out this deck to see if there's any consistency with the removal in the mid game, and then having your big bodies like your Kiros and your Monkey D. Luffy's, and then you can also attach 1 Dawn with your Cavendish and your Zoro. Those are basically just your magic numbers, swinging 7, taking out at least 2 cards from the opponent's hand. Basically that's the game plan for this, and I don't know if I want another 7k body, because the filtering sometimes is really needed for this deck for it to work. Also, this is a deck that I started running as well, because which I swapped with earlier. The earlier version of the deck that I was running has the Gecko Moria from on the deck. So the reason for that one is so I can start bringing back the blockers that I have, but I find it really slow as well because I'm just basically stalling until I can get a new card. which always, which sometimes will bite me back because the opponent will catch up, and there's not much that I can do from there, other than like trying to block or trying to counter out my way into into a win, which is very hard to pull off as well. So this is what I'm trying right now. I'm really enjoying the mid to late game, or sorry, so the early to mid game removal, and the mid to late game big bodies on the field. Um, I only have like the rest of the 2Ks would just be the 1K, sorry, 1 cost Suru, and then the 2 cost one-legged soldier. So that's basically my deck. And also I only have like one copy of the Gum Gum King Kong Khan, which is it's a pretty good card if manage to remove the blockers, and then you can just do the double attack, plus 6,000 and double attack into your opponent's life. It can do a lot of damage, but it's very hard to pull off again. This is a better version of Rebecca. The reason why is because your leader can actually attack, compared to the earlier version of the blue and black Dressrosa cards. So that's my deck. I hope that you learned something from this video. I also have some gameplay on the background, so you guys can have a look into how this deck works. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below. And if you haven't subscribed to me, this is like it is a good time to subscribe now. If you learned something, give us a thumbs up. We're so close into 500 subscribers, and yep, that's just my goal for the first quarter of this year, is to get to 500, and then the next goal would be get to 1,000 subscribers. So I might just do a giveaway on the 1,000 subscribers, but we'll see. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, if you have any questions, feel free to comment down below, and I will try my best to answer them. Yeah, that is it for me, and then I'll see you guys into the next one. Bye.